Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a list of series that I want to read in 2018. They're actually more a list of series I want to start in 2018 because I have no intentions of finishing all the books in all of these series, but I'm gonna go ahead and start with the most shameful one, the one that I give you guys full permission to publicly shame me for not having read these, and that would be The Lord of the Rings. I'd like to consider myself a pretty strong fantasy nerd, but I know that there are fantasy nerds out there that are like in pain that I haven't read Lord of the Rings and are definitely vibing me super hard, so I'm gonna try to ease that pain and actually finally get around to them. Next up are two series that are actually by the same author, and I want to at least start both of these series, and that would be the Night Angel trilogy and then the Black Prism series by Brent Weeks. You guys know I absolutely love assassins in books, and I have no idea how I haven't read the Night Angel series yet because I know that there are assassins in that series. With this series, I've heard some people say they like it even more than the Night Angel trilogy and that they think that the magic system is better and cooler and that the characters are cooler and it's not quite as dark. But either way, I feel like Brent Weeks in general is kind of like a staple now for fantasy readers, and I need to get on board and read his stuff. I'm actually gonna shift for a bit and talk about some young adult series that I really want to start. A couple being really new releases, but ones that everybody seems to be saying really great things about, and one would be a book that I only just recently got. I've not heard a ton about it, but as soon as I mentioned it, you guys that have read it were like, oh, I really liked that book, and that would be The Glass Spare by Lauren DeStefano. The premise of this book sounds really cool. It's about a girl who is the daughter of a king, and she's the fourth child, and she's been living in hiding so that she can serve as a spy. It sounds really cool, and you guys, like I said, have been telling me that it's awesome and that there's actually a good amount of sibling-based relationships in this book, which is really cool and something that you don't really find all that often in fantasy. Another book that is quite new that you guys have been saying is awesome is Marie Lu's Warcross. I actually really want to also read the Legend series by Marie Lu. The other day I was at a used bookstore and I went to just kind of grab a book off the shelf by Marie Lu to look at it, and this cute young girl was like, oh my gosh, I love Marie Lu. I just love her writing. That alone is reason enough for me to want to read these, but I've also heard great things about them. And in regards to Warcross, you guys have been telling me that, because I thought it was a standalone, but apparently it leaves off on a huge cliffhanger and people are saying it's awesome. Another series that is young adult that everybody has been raving about, and I am super late to the bandwagon, but really want to get to that this year, would be An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I think I was content to leave this one kind of off to the side for a while and not really worry about getting to it anytime soon, but when I made my list of favorite books of 2017, so many of you guys, when I asked you what your favorites were, mentioned this series. I'm like, well, alright then, I gotta move it up on the list. Next up is a series that I honestly am so intrigued by because everybody says wonderful things about this author's writing, and that would be the Seven Realms series by Cinda Williams Chima. This is a somewhat older series, but the nice thing about that is I don't have to wait for book 2 and then book 3 and then book 4. So if I really like it, I can just move right on to the next one. Moving from young adult into middle grade, I absolutely need to get around to the Percy Jackson series. I've had the first book on the Percy Jackson series on multiple TBRs and just haven't gotten around to it, but I know everybody says they love Rick Riordan's writing, they love Percy Jackson, and I've mentioned to you guys before, a lot of my private violin students also like Percy Jackson, and I want to read them so I can actually talk to them about it. Jumping back into the adult fantasy, I have a couple more series that, one of which somebody commented once like, you have to get into this series. So I bought it, and then I mentioned it in a book haul, not really knowing anything about it, never having heard of it before, and when I mentioned it, all of you were like, that book is amazing, that series is the best thing I've ever read. So I'm like, what the heck, how have I not heard of this before? And that would be Blood Song by Anthony Ryan. Not only have you guys been telling me it's great, but I went to my local used bookstore, and a lot of times they'll have like staff picks, or they'll write something like before it's popular, or things like that. And sure enough, this book was one of them, and it was like, oh, you guys gotta read this book is awesome. So not only are you guys telling me, but the staff members at my local used bookstores apparently love this series, so I'm really pumped. And lastly is a series that I've wanted to get around to for a while, and that would be Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. This is another series that I don't really see talked about very much, just like Blood Song, but when I mention it on my channel, like everybody tells me, oh my gosh, those books are amazing. So I absolutely am intrigued by these, and I know this author originally started off as being self-published and then became traditionally published, and you guys know I'm writing my own book. I plan to self-publish. The dream isn't necessarily like to get picked up or anything like that, but I like hearing stories like that. Anyway, that is it for a series that I want to start in 2018. There are definitely so many other series that I want to start also, but I think these are the ones that are taking highest priority in my brain currently. Let me know what series you guys want to get around to in 2018, or series that you're definitely thinking I should get around to in 2018, or your thoughts on these books. As always, if you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little bell icon to get notified when I post new videos, and check out some more of my videos right over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.